Hey friends, today I'm going thrifting for your garden and I'm sharing charming indoor garden ideas using thrift store items. Should be a fun video. It's going to be full of tips, tricks, and ideas. I cannot wait to share this one with you. It's going to be a fun one. So I hope you'll stick around. So without further ado, let's go to the thrift store. When I first stepped in the door, I saw this brown transferware bowl, and I did not get it because I did not have a buggy at the time. They were all gone, and I walked away from it thinking I could come back and get it. Somebody snatched it up and bought it. But how beautiful would this bowl be with some purple hyacinths in it, with just some moss added around the base of it? Absolutely stunning, and it's the bowl that got away. Next, I spotted this beautiful soup tureen, and to me, soup tureens just say English cottage. They're absolutely perfect for indoor gardening. Instead of using a tureen for soup, this is an old one that I have, and I decided to turn it into a simple Paperwhite bulb garden. I started by adding fresh potting soil to the bottom of the tureen. Now, if I had it to do over again, I would add rocks before I added the soil for drainage, or you could just add rocks and no soil. Next, I nestled in Paperwhite bulbs, and I did do this Paperwhite bulb planting last year around this time, and if I could do it again, I would put more bulbs in here and pack them as tight as I could. And then I added some simple moss around the bulbs just to cover up that soil and just give it a softer look. And I love the look of moss around my flower bulbs. I just think that it really adds an extra touch and makes it look a little more elevated. Paperwhite bulbs are probably difficult to find this time of year, so other bulbs that you can force are tulips, hyacinths, daffodils, crocus, and iris. But make sure if you buy some that you buy them pre-chilled so that they will bloom in time for spring. After I got the Paperwhite bulbs planted, this rim around the bowl was perfect for a simple brown satin ribbon. And I think that it finished off the whole container and made everything feel extra special. After everything was done, I ended up adding these Paperwhites to the piano, and I did this last year, but I'll be doing something similar this year in the soup tureen, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my upcoming spring content. Since we're thrifting for your garden and looking for indoor gardening ideas, I spotted this glass creamer and thought it would be perfect added to a windowsill with cut flowers. I love daisies, and I thought they would be so beautiful added to this glass container. Then I spotted this matching trio. It's a gravy boat, a sugar, and a creamer. I love the dainty and petite blue flowers on this, and I would just take these and add an herb garden to these and just display them in your kitchen and have them right there available for you as you're cooking. Okay, so the creamers were plentiful on this thrift trip. I found so many cute ones and had so many different ideas for these. This one I thought was pretty with the little gold lines on it. It did have a sugar and a creamer, but how beautiful would it be with just one single daffodil bulb added to it? This little sugar container is perfect for a flower, and since it doesn't have a top, it's probably going to be discarded anyway. So I think an African violet would be perfect for it and give it a new life. This bundt pan was such a fun find, and it was extremely heavy, but I think that it's the perfect candidate for a flower. I think that it would be so fun to just design a different type of flower arrangement in this pan. And you could just add a lot of different spring flowers to this and then add moss to the top of it. It would be a beautiful Easter display. Or you could also create a beautiful fairy garden in this bundt pan. Then I spotted the silver cup. I don't know what the purpose is of this cup, but I think it's very old English looking. and I think it would be perfect for a flower. It's a little expensive for $3, but as I kept looking, I ended up finding more of these. You can see them in the background, and I eventually find them. So there's a total of 3, but if you keep watching the video, there's actually another one out there for a total of 4. So I thought these would be perfect for a little herb garden added to your windowsill to give you that old English cottage look. I think everything at the thrift store has potential, and these muffin tins are no exception. They are usually plentiful at the thrift store, and they have so many uses, but since we are thrifting for your garden and looking for indoor gardening ideas, I think these will be perfect to start your seeds indoors with. They are the perfect size, and you could start herbs or peppers or tomatoes just to have that starter for your garden. I absolutely loved these glass pitchers. I love the handle and the shape, and they absolutely caught my eye because they are just stunning. I love to use these for my indoor gardening, and let me share how I use my thrifted glass pitchers for my gardening purposes. So this is my glass pitcher that I thrifted years ago. I didn't buy any new ones today because I have this one on hand, and I like to use this one to water my plants. And that way I can leave it in a cabinet. I don't have any bulky watering cans inside the house. And this one does double duty for juice, or I can add dressing to it, or anything like that in the kitchen. And so it's not taking up any extra room. Plus it's beautiful to water my flowers. So let me give you a little tip about how I keep my flowers watered inside the house and keep them looking great. So this is my Christmas cactus. I have it potted in this thrifted, I can get it out, terracotta pot here. It's just an aged pot. And for Christmas and winter, I put it in this brown pot. This is not thrifted. I got this from TJ Maxx. And what I like to do, a terracotta pot is very porous. And so you can tell it's a little bit dry, needs some water. So to water this plant, this pot here has no drainage holes. And so I just pour some water inside, and then I add my plant right in there. So that way the plant drinks from the bottom up and stays hydrated. I have started doing this to a lot of my indoor plants because they were starting to dry out really quickly, and this has worked really well. Now back to thrifting for your garden. I spotted this glass vase and think that it's perfect to force tulip bulbs. You can add a few pebbles around the top, but since it's glass, you can see the root system and see the stems. I think that it's an absolutely stunning vessel for your gardening purposes. And staying with the glass vase idea, this would also be perfect to force a bulb. A beautiful iris or anything like that added to this vase would be so pretty. I love the image on this mug and think that it would be perfect with a small rosemary plant added to it. You could leave the rosemary in its grow pot and just add some water in the bottom like I shared earlier to keep the rosemary alive and very hydrated. Another thing I like to look for when I am thrifting for indoor gardening ideas are brass planters. This one has the little feet on the bottom of it. It has been years since I have spotted a brass bowl out in the thrift store. But I found this one, and I love to add pothos inside my house because they're so easy to grow and they do so well in our house. And so I just drop it down, just grow pot and everything down into the brass pot. And so it makes it look a little bit more English cottage, gives the green a little bit of interest with the brass. And I love the little feet on it. This one needs to be propagated some. I have a video showing you how I do that. I will link that for you in case you are interested in that. But you can propagate these and have more pothos and you can basically have them for free because you rooted them at home. So I love to look for these brass planters for these different plants. And you don't have to put pothos in them. You can put any kind of plant in these and it will look beautiful. Even faux, ferns would be beautiful in this. Just to add it to a shelf or anywhere in your home to make it look beautiful. Another thing I like to look for are these thrifted blue and white containers. And this one came with the little saucer to sit on it. But I planted one little paper white bulb on this and you can see it has gone wild and crazy. They say that if you water this with some vodka that it will stand up straight. But I watered it with that. I had some left over from when I made vanilla extract. And they're still going all over the place, but I kind of like that look. But I love this container for just bulbs of Paperwhites or any type of spring bulb. I think that it is just a pretty addition to this bulb with moss added around it. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but this one is cracked right there, but I think it just adds to the character of this little planter. So if real flowers are not your thing, you can always use faux. I added a faux Paperwhite to this thrifted ironstone planter. I love the handles on this, and I love the shape of it. And so I knew when I saw it, it was perfect for a bulb. And then I found this faux one online, and so I keep it up year round because I just love the look of it. And for the holidays and whatever, you could tie a bow on it because it's got these cute handles, but I keep it out all the time here on our little table. So faux is always an option if you don't do real plants. And in fact, I have a mixture of both throughout our home, faux and real flowers throughout. Wooden boxes also make a great container for flowers. I found this one years ago in an antique store, and I keep my eye out for wooden boxes whenever I'm thrifting. This one has words on the front of it, but if you found a wooden box that didn't, you could also stencil on it to make it look a little older than what it is. But I love the dovetail joints on this box, and I love it added here in our sunroom on this navy table with the brown wood. I just think that it adds a beautiful touch to this room. Then after the aisle cleared out, I noticed these, and I think they are meant to be candle holders, but they're missing some parts. So, like I said, everything at the thrift store has potential. So make sure you're subscribed and you follow along to see what I do with these. It's going to be a fun one. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel so much. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.